Hello, guys. So
What's up,
today we're going to
everyone?
be talking about in the dark times, the dark ages of Clash. So basically, let's say it's going to be like 10 years ago and stuff like that. That was the crazy times when actually, if you see the today's World Championships, tournament leagues, and everything, that so it was like if you compare it to like the before times of UFC, like the UFC one, two, and those were the times when we created our own leagues, and it was like 50 versus 50 max town halls, and the drama was crazy, and the
Hmm.
attacks were crazy.
Yeah, everything was crazy back then.
Yeah,
Attack's crazy. I think the drama was even crazier behind the scenes, but yeah, it wasn't boring. I'll say that much. It definitely wasn't a boring time.
yeah.
So I think um, the first thing is how did you actually get into In the Dark? What was like your, beginnings at In the Dark like?
I was actually quite close to like 10 years ago. I was just in my huge push, and I started my YouTube channel basically like 10 years ago. Just like that. My girlfriend dumped me when we were living in France, and of course I focused more on Clash and became number one in the world, and
That showed her, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, that showed her. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Well, because I
yeah.
still remember that period because I think me and you joined like within a month apart, right?
Yeah, it was like something
So
around October or something. That's just when
yeah,
I hit
yeah,
the number one. I wanted to do because like I wanted to do some wars also because pushing was done in Quantum's Web, and they didn't care so much for wars. So it was kind of fun to seek on that. And Dizzy was the leader of ITD, and he invited me then to see the stuff there. And that was like I remember still like Muz was doing this crazy P.E.K.K.A kill squad attack,
mm,
something like insane stuff. And I was like, I saw those, my eyes were like this, like, oh my god, that was crazy. And actually, just after that, like couple of months, the lava loon,
hmm,
the troop
yeah, it was
came.
introduced. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and that was like
I
the
do
the
a
time. But
still.
that's how I got into, and I kind of got stuck in there. But I was never the 3-star pony. I did like one triple a year. That was my thing. But I was the
Yeah, but
solid 2-star pony.
your triple, the first one, the first Lava Loon triple,
Yeah,
I
in a
think
war,
that was,
yes. Yeah.
quite
And
significant time
a
in
number
Clash
one
of Clans.
base
Yeah.
in the against some Arab clan.
Hmm.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I do. I
crazy.
still remember that because
Yeah,
that was a big deal, right? Because up to that point, I think that was Town Hall 10 was the max one,
yeah,
if I remembered correctly.
yeah,
Yeah. Up to that point, like the only thing that came close to actually three-starring, back then, was a go wipe. So
yeah.
golems, wizards, and P.E.K.K.A.s. That was the go-to strategy for everyone. And then, this air troop gets introduced that does nothing, but then all of a sudden people are using it to triple, right? Because back then the whole mentality was different, so nobody actually thought about, I'm going to use this big troop and then the
Yeah.
small troops behind it. So that was like a game
And air
changer, I
didn't
think.
have. You only
So
had the dragons, and they were weak.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, Town Hall 10 Dragons didn't do much. You can probably two-star with them, but that's,
Yeah,
pretty much it.
and that
Yeah.
actually was the times that like yeah, it was interesting times.
Mm.
It was yeah, something different. Clash took so much time.
Yeah, even especially I guess for you, for because I was, back then I was pretty much in a farm clan that kind of got into wars, and I was
Yeah,
really getting more and more into wars, and I had a friend that actually joined ITD from, the clan that I was in. I was, I think, even leading it back then. I don't, it was, so long ago now. Um, and then my friend was like, you should, come check us out in ITD, in the dark, and you'll meet some people, and we're all about wars, and I joined and. I didn't even have a max barbarian king yet, but I think that was the requirement, max hero. So Dizzy kind of did me a favor, but
sneaked
I
you
think
in. Yeah,
yeah, he realized early on that I was no lifing it. So that's the people that you need in those
I
types
had
of
like a
wars.
couple of accounts back then, and one of them was completely maxed out everything. And actually, it was my friend's account. He stopped playing, and he sponsored. So every time I needed gems, he just gave me the money to buy gems, and it was crazy because at those times pushing everything, I was
Yeah,
spending 200-300 euros a week on
and
gems.
then I think
And
we
when
should go
updates
back a little
came,
bit.
Hoopa.
If we return a little bit to our previous episode, we were discussing something similar, I think, or am I remembering
Don't
that wrong?
recall.
Gem? No, Gem, no,
Nope.
don't recall.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah,
Don't
let's
recall
we should
anything of
just
that. I
move
forgot.
forward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I think one of the bigger things in ITD beginnings, I guess my beginnings that I kind of wanted to talk about is actually, that was the first time I saw base, right? There wasn't a farm or a push base. It was the first time I saw a war base, and that blew my mind back then. Was I think it was Fengtian. It was the Chinese clan, right?
Yeah.
We actually became friends after that war, but the first time I saw a base that actually didn't care about where the town hall was, because remember back then, Town Hall 10, the
Oh,
town
this
hall
was
did
yeah the
nothing.
anti three-star bases kind of thing,
Yeah,
and the town
the
hall
I
was
think they were
placed like
called
yeah, and that was a
on the
time when town hall
outside
was not
just to
weaponized,
protect.
so it was still
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So the CC was in the middle, and then the heroes were defending
Yeah,
the
you were
Inferno
using the
towers,
town hall
and
actually as like garbage to like just to take
exactly like
points
just
because it
like you
had
would
yeah
like you would use a a gold storage in war now,
yeah
right? Basically
yeah
just to tank a defense or whatever. And that
yeah
just blew my mind because I came from basically farming, right? I was just a farmer back then. That's all you could do before wars were introduced, and I saw that and I was like, dude, the town hall is something you're supposed to defend. Like, what are you doing? And
yeah
then it was one of the only bases that could not get tripled, and I was like, hold on, this is something weird. And that's actually where it all began for me because I saw that and I was like determined, like, dude, I want to do this now.
yeah.
And those are probably the origins of base building in general and in Clash of Clans. Me and a couple of builders from Fengtian getting together and actually starting to think about how you can defensively position stuff um, to stop an attack, right? So yeah, that's kind of where base building was born if we were looking at it in from that
Yeah,
perspective.
because also I remember on push it was usually that I kept the same base for like let's say for half a year almost, but you tweak it pretty much
Mm,
every second day or something like that, just a little bit, but you don't go for a completely new one.
yeah.
And also
I
the
think that
building was
yeah.
so much more complicated at those times. So it was somebody did something, and then the base lived up, had the evolutions, and then you just keep it.
Exactly. And it was different, right? Because there weren't so many content creators. You didn't have, bird bases and discords
Yeah.
where you can share stuff on the servers and all that. So it was harder and it took a little longer. I made a new base and it worked really well. And then, 2, 3 weeks from then, you would see that base pop up in just random clans that we would match. And I think that
Everybody
was,
had that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I think that was kind of the natural progression of it all of how base building, we were first like they made a base that was really good, and then I was like, okay, now I need to make something. I want to make something,
Yeah.
right? I made something that worked, and then they kind of, took some of my stuff and took their own stuff, and it just became evolving, and maybe within a year it came to a point where you basically had to change your bases for every big war you had if you were like seriously competitive and in clan wars back then. If you were
Yeah.
like part of the elite scene, you would like if you will match a certain clan, okay, now we have to change all of our bases because they have the previous bases and they know how to attack them, and we
Yeah.
had new ideas, and it was just it was a
And I
cool
remember
time, man.
that it was kind of fun because we had the waves of attacking. So first, every base needs to be tripled. Sorry, two starred, and then you
Yeah,
start to go on the triples, and then there was the what was the name of that one? Like the before Diva. What was the name? We forgot.
CT,
Yes, yes,
your
yes.
favorite clasher ever. How did you forget his name?
But I have recovered. I have had therapy and
CT.
everything. But it's like
What?
there were the people that like it was so that was I was surprised because people can do 3 stars, but they will fail. They can't do a solid 2 star.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
insane. Like, how does your brain is wired on that way? And then that's why we had a couple of like me and some else that could do the 2 stars and be solid on that because you cannot waste those attacks. Each time you do a one
Exactly,
star,
yeah.
it means one attack is wasted, and usually those end up if you can perfect the war or how close it will be. And that was the crazy, and
Yeah,
especially
because
if the town hall was a bit centered because then it became ooh so complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, the town hall wasn't a storage building back then, so you couldn't just do goblins and stuff like that to
Yeah.
grab it. You basically had to, you know, make sure your attack gets through the town hall, and yeah,
And
people would
also, if
fail
you
more
had
often.
loons, they will fly over it, even if it after
Yep.
50% is destruction is done.
And
You
then
actually, and
that
also
pesky inferno
remember
behind,
the
yeah.
high 90% hog raids.
Oh my God, I
Yeah,
forgot
one
the name of.
stars, one stars, high 90s, one stars.
I think he was Payam D
Yeah,
was
PMD. Yeah.
called. He
Oh my
was
god.
yeah, he was the Hog Whisperer back then. Wow, that's a lot of a lot of time ago.
And
Um,
Silvio, one of the Italian guys, but he did mainly on push side that stuff. He used to push with hoggies.
and yeah, and though with crazy raids, you would do a golem and wizards and a jump spell from a
Yeah,
corner.
yeah,
Basically, like you would do a Golaloon, but you would go into hogs, and it
yeah.
was crazy. Yeah, that was
And
those
then,
were fun times, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
do you remember always seeing the end of the raid? Do the skellies get the hogs? Because
Chasing them and
it was
yeah,
always so close. And when you go to town hall, they have so much time that they need to be, and then sometimes the skellies did get the, and then you end
yeah,
up,
did
yeah.
get.
And I remember
Yep.
watching live attacks back then. It was
The you
cool.
know that's the thing I miss now because even with you know bigger wars it's different because people just kind of log on and attack that feeling you get you know that
The
last
last two
3-4
hours,
hours of a wars, oh my
yeah.
God, that was
And
I
they were
would stay
always
up
on
24
bad,
hours, yeah.
and they're always bad timing for us. They were like middle of the
Yeah.
nights, not middle of the nights, but middle of the mornings, like 4 a.m.,
Yeah,
5 a.m.
4 or
So
5 6 a.m. and I would just stay up and then I like am I gonna sleep? Well, of course not. I'm like hyped up now, we won a war, of course I'm
yeah,
not just gonna go to bed, right? So it was, yeah, that was
and then
crazy, dude.
when you were in bed, spin and hunted again, another big war.
Yeah, and then I wake up. Oh, hey, Rock, you have to make 50 more bases. Oh, okay, cool. How much time do I have?
Yeah,
16 hours? Okay, cool.
yeah,
Let me just not
yeah,
sleep ever again, I
and
guess.
work or anything. Yeah,
Yeah, just stay at home and
but
build bases.
actually, like the only person that I know that currently still clash. Okay, I'm not in contact with. We still have that one group where all the retards are. Retard is also a medical condition. It's not a
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
word.
it's like idiot. It's all the same
Exactly, it's a
thing,
medical condition.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
and
do.
people.
I get messages every now and then from you know old school ITD guys, but like from that era, from
Yeah,
way back, I don't think anyone still plays because
yeah,
Warman was I guess second, maybe third generation ITD. He wasn't you know from the start.
yeah,
I think he's still active. Besides that, I'm not sure. I
yeah,
think all of the old school. It's just you and me now left, bro. It's
yeah. And we are
yeah,
casual.
yeah. We're casual now.
Yeah, you casually build 100 bases a month.
Yeah, and you casually spend gems every day.
I don't. I actually get gems. Yesterday,
Okay,
I
serious question. Serious question. Do you have your builder apprentice?
yes.
At what level?
Let's check. I think it's 2 or 3. I don't need it. I'm maxed out. So what do I do with that?
Yeah, you
Gem in
very.
vain. Let me check.
There you go. You finished the gemming, so now you don't have to gem anymore.
Exactly. I don't need the apprentice. Let me see. It's level 3.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I think people would have believed you, but proof is
Yeah. This
always
is my
good.
pony account, so it's not. I'm not. Yeah.
You're not showing a random account, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like
Um,
when I gem, I do it out of the open. I don't do closet stuff like back in the days. People were doing closet everything.
oh, you came out of the closet? Okay, that's
Yeah. Yeah. I'm out for a long
good.
time.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah.
know.
I have a channel where I broadcast my outness. It's called Clash with Ed, and now I have this EdCasting thing. Yeah. And the final closet
Oh,
that
I've
came out was with you at the same time, like a couple of months ago when we started this stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, hi from our closets, I guess.
Yeah. And guys, shoot us with some questions that you want to have. We're going to do several of these memory lane ITD stops, and because it's something just fun to recall these times. It's like it's 10 years. And we've been fondling our iPads and phones for like, God, soon 12 years.
I remember the first phone I had that I started Clash on, I
Yeah.
didn't have you know an iPad or anything, so the first couple of years of bases were on an iPhone 4.
Yeah.
Um, so I think you can just check when the iPhone 4 was introduced, and I think that gives you a little bit of a better. I think we're at the iPhone. This is recording now on an iPhone 15.
Yeah, I have 15 too.
So yeah, so that's a couple of generations of iPhones ago is when we
It's almost like
started.
I said, it's 10 years for us.
It is, and yeah, I think
Yeah,
2014 was the year I joined ITD.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I remember when it was like that. I've been clashing we've been clashing most of our adulthood lives.
Yeah, for me especially, I'm 32 years old in a week or so.
Yeah,
And I've spent 12 years clashing, so since I've been, it's one third of my life, basically.
yeah. I'm 38 and I've been clashing for the same 12 years soon. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice closet, bro.
thanks.
Definitely, guys, definitely,
Yeah,
do some questions for ITD stuff. We love to chat about this, as you can see from this
yeah,
episode. There's just so many things to talk about, and we definitely forgot because there's been so many wars since then. But whatever you're curious about, let us know. We can answer all of your questions either on our Discord, more preferably in maybe an episode or something like that.
yeah.
So all the questions ASAP.
Yeah, and then we build another episode for those because I like this kind of and we could talk for when we go into nerding when we talk for hours about like the old times of Clash.
Yeah.
It's just something, and also like I know there's a lot of you guys who've been clashing also like the same times as we were, and also watching the videos back then on YouTube, and now it's like it's everything is a bit different. There is like at that time there was no content on YouTube. There was no good
Yeah,
attacks.
exactly.
There was Chief Pat doing his
Galadon?
like health and fitness diaries and five golem whatever uh, Galadon doing whatever he did, and then there was some Godson.
Oh, Godson, dude, I forgot
Yeah,
about him.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And then Cash with then it became like after Cash with the Clash with
Dude,
Ash,
no.
and
And
those
then
came
a
a bit
Clash
after,
with,
and then
there was
the
this dude that did the rankings, Clash with Predator.
yeah
Yeah,
niche
he would
small
always
channel that
put
did
us
yeah
lows. Yeah,
yeah
I don't
it
like
was
him.
it was it was weird. It was cool times, and then now everybody has good attacks, and then like that was a time when people started uploading like hour-long videos with this techno music on the back. Rob got a call.
Yeah, it's
He
sorry, that's
texted
on
his
me.
mom to call him, so he seems like he has a
It
life.
was it was actually my mom, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. It was actually my mom, so yeah. I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
But
Okay,
yeah,
guys, I
guys,
think
questions.
yeah, shoot that and share some of your memories if you have those. We love these. You can comment. I think or even in Spotify. Apparently, there's a section I just did that you can do comments there. But probably use the YouTube. Like let's do the YouTube and Discord and be OG. Like we can be
Definitely,
in the
yeah.
OG live.
YouTube comments, we should argue there. That's like the real OG way.
I responded to tens of thousands of YouTube comments,
I
and I'm
know.
forever traumatized.
I made a YouTube account just for commenting back to the haters on your channel back
Uh,
in like
yeah,
2015, 2016. Yeah. Cool
it's
times.
good time. It was good times.
It was, it really was.
Okay, guys. Bye bye. See
Cheers.
you in the next ones.